Hi everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to day 3 of FlossMas, and I hope you're having a really lovely day. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon now. I haven't done a massive amount. My eldest daughter is still unwell, so I've been caring for my daughters, doing some food, some cleaning. Yeah, I haven't been out yet to the Christmas fair down the road, but I'm going to go shortly. Maybe after I film this video, because it's on until 8 or 9 o'clock this evening, and it was really busy apparently earlier when my husband drove past, so I didn't want to go with all the big crowd earlier. So hopefully now people will be heading home for their tea. It might be a good time to go. I did spend both my daughters fell asleep for a nap, which is unheard of. They both fell asleep about 2 o'clock, so I quickly got on my laptop and did my DMC floss spreadsheet, which I've been meaning to do for months and months and months. So just so I know, at the glance of a spreadsheet, what DMC floss that I'm missing, what I have, what projects it's in, and that'll be really quick to edit now. So I also have fancy flosses and things, and I just didn't know where to document what I had where. So it's really good to have it all in one succinct place that I can keep updating. So yeah, I opened my Patchwork Rabbit order today, and I got the really lovely Gentle Arts Cranberry, which is not that dissimilar from the dress that I'm wearing today. So I've added that onto my floss drop. Oh, they're really Christmassy together, aren't they? Gorgeous. And yeah, I'll show you where I've got up to with my whip. I have put it back in my nudge hoop because where it was in the Q-snap, I was really struggling to get to all the sides, because the clamps are quite close to the edge, so it's quite a thick edge is what I mean compared to the nudge hoop. So I was really struggling to get to certain aspects of the stitching because I haven't left myself much fabric margin, but we'll worry about that when I come to framing. So yeah, put it back in my nudge hoop, and I finished off the last couple of segments on this sun. Oh, it's so lovely. I'm really chuffed with how this has turned out because I almost didn't stitch this and just left it as the bottom with the cat and the flowers, but my husband encouraged me to finish it and do it in full. So if you can hear my daughter, she is with my husband. I'll go down as soon as I finish this. So yeah, stitch this cloud over here, and I've got about halfway through this one here. Then after that's finished, I'm going to go back down and see this bee. That's the only one in the pattern, but I'm actually going to add some more above the flowers. I think my daughter said she wanted 5 in total. The reason I've got this felt here is just to protect my stitches, just in case, as I've put my nudge hoop over the middle of the stitches. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I think I'm going to do the bees just scattered around, and yeah, it's so close to completion. I might even finish that tonight. And this is another one that's been really lovely because I haven't worked on this since March, so a lot earlier in the year. You can just see from my back how much my stitching has developed. So this is this side is the side that I've done, and here in the last week or two, and that's what I did back in March. So yeah, that's on 28 count Zweigart raw cashel linen, which I absolutely love. I mean, it's a bit slubby in places, but I don't find that too difficult. So after I finish that one, I'm going to move on to my 4 Seasons, which is a kit by Barbara Anna with Nick Komosko. And I did show this in my last Flosstube, but this is where I'm up to. So yeah, I'm going to have the Winter Girl here. I apologise if I haven't been looking in the camera very well. I forget that it's over that side. So it'll be this girl here. I can't wait to do her hair in that spiral. That looks really fun. Yeah, it's not showing up too well on the camera because of the colours, but so yeah. And I will work on this until she's completely done and the 4 Seasons is finished, because I really want to get this done before the end of December, because I started this in January on my birthday. and then that will take me down to 6 whips, I think, after this one, 6 or 7, which is great, as I'm on tack on my whips with Jasmine. And then I just thought I'd show you a few recently FFOs. Oh, I can hear a helicopter going over. It's like dusk now, it's beautiful outside. So I showed this on a recent Flosstube. This is the PinkernPunkin blogspot, Melissa. Her autumn stamp sale, which I have shown before. This was the freebie extra pillow, and it's a Quaker pear. So I'd finished it, but I hadn't FFO'd it yet. So yeah, I stuffed it with kapok fibre and I sewed up at the bottom. Love that one. I also FFO'd the autumn pillow by Salt and Pepper Stitching. I loved this one. I used all the DMC substitutes as I didn't have any of the fancy floss, but I actually really like these subtle, delicate colours. And I made a mistake with the ecru. I used a different DMC. It wasn't the 6-stranded cotton. It was just a 1-ply cotton. I can't remember what it's called now. But I actually really like it. It's caused those areas to be more raised off the fabric. I don't know if that shows up very well on the camera. But it gives some texture to the piece, and I really like it. And Salt and Pepper Stitching, their model photo had a similar orange gingham fabric, and I really liked that, so I saw something similar in the local sewing shop. And on the back I've got this lovely autumnal leaf fabric, which was left over from a bag that I made for Yasmin's Made with Love for Yaz's birthday. And this was it was so difficult to FFO. It went into the naughty corner once or twice because this bottom seam, it kept opening when I stuffed it. So I'd have to unpick the whole thing, re-sew the seam, and then re-stuff it and sew it all the way around. Oh, it was real pain. I think, yeah, it went in the naughty corner once or twice. I think 3rd time lucky I got it successfully finished, so that feels really good. I've also finished this little project. This was from Flosstube magazine. I can't remember which one now, but if you look back on my last video, it will be on the details there. And I use 32 count Zweigart opalescent. It's the one with the gold speckle in it, and it's this really gorgeous vintage sewing machine. I don't think I can get it to focus very well, but it's got some lovely delicate 1-strand detailing on it, like back stitching. It's really beautiful. And my plan for that is I want to make it into a little magnetic needle minder for my project, like a little magnetic pillow, but I haven't worked out how I'm going to do that yet. I did Google on YouTube and I couldn't find any tutorials. So if anyone's got any suggestions about how I can go about that. I do know Teresa Little Stitcher, she was gifted one, so I know it is possible because I saw it on her Flosstube ages ago. I messaged her saying, oh, that pillow's so lovely, like how did you make it? And ever since then I've had that idea in my head, and then I made this and thought, God, that would look so cute as a little magnetic needle minder as a pillow. This is my latest tack on my whips. This is the project that I finished before the garden cat. I think I worked on this consecutively for 13 days to get it finished because it hadn't been touched again since earlier in the year. And I found this really tricky to stitch on this dark grey fabric, but it was absolutely worth it. I used all the call for DMC substitutions because I didn't have the Leo and Roxy floss, but I actually really like the way this looks on the fabric. I think it the delicate subtle colours, the greys and the whites are really lovely, and the yellows and reds just pop and speak for themselves. So yeah, I'm going to try and get that framed up soon. And the last one I've got to show you is this. It's not yet finished. So I've got this a attached to some mount board, which again isn't quite finished yet, it's just pinned in place. And this was a finished object quite a few months ago, but I wasn't quite sure how to FFO it. I have bought this board from the range. It was really cheap. I think it was like £2 or £3, and I want to mount it onto here, but I know that it's not quite right, the colour that it is at the moment, so I was going to have it up here and have that black heart bit showing, but I don't really like the way that looks. I think I need to paint this board, but I'm not really quite sure what colour I want to go for. I was thinking maybe sort of like a pale pink, like this sort of colour, or like an off-white, or even maybe a charcoal grey. And that's just reminding me I have got something else to show you. I also FFO'd this, well, it's nearly finished. This is a little freebie, or it was, I don't think it is anymore, I think it's a pay for pattern now. But this is from Wild Violet Cross Stitch. And I love this. I use DMC, I think 783 on a 28 count navy blue, I think it is. So it was different from different colour fabric and floss to what was called for, I think. Can't remember exactly because it's quite a long time ago I finished this. But I followed the Kelsey Lee and things, her Flosstube. I think it was either the first or the second Flosstube. She showed how she'd mounted a little cross stitch piece into a little jar lid, and I thought it was so super cute and would be perfect for this, because this was another one I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to FFO it. So thanks for that idea, Kelsey. And I just used some sticky mount board, stuck it down, and I haven't even glued this in place. It's just kind of slotted in there. I don't think it really needs to be hot glued in. I mean, it's only if you move it that it won't fall out, look. But I really want to paint this Bon Man Man, I think that's how you say it, Bon Man Man jar lid. It comes from a Bon Man Man jam jar. I love these jars. But I think I want to paint that, and I was thinking maybe a charcoal grey, so I was thinking maybe that might complement it as well, because I can imagine this on a charcoal fabric. Let's see how it looks on this. Yeah, don't know, maybe it's a bit too dark. Maybe I should get some light pink, try that, and then if it doesn't work I can overpaint it with a charcoal grey that I'll have from painting that. So yeah, I think that's everything I've got to show you today. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, and fingers crossed my daughter's even better tomorrow. She has got a cold sore come up today, which we were kind of expecting, poor thing. Every time her immune system's down, she gets one. Oh, it's really difficult, but we zap it with witch hazel, like put it on every hour, and it does seem to make them not get to that angry phase, so keep popping that on every hour. We've only just noticed it, and hopefully that will go down overnight, because she's due back at school on Tuesday, so it would be really nice if, you know, she rested and got well enough to go back on Tuesday, because she does love it and she'll miss her friends. It's a bit sad really, because it was meant to be her party today. We had to postpone it last week because she wasn't 100%. She had a cold sore she was recovering from. So we postponed it to this Saturday, and now she's unwell with a respiratory virus, so we've actually had to cancel it this time. But her birthday is really, really close to Christmas, so I said if people are around over the Christmas break, then maybe they'd like to pop over and play for an hour or so and have some cake then. So give us something to look forward to. Yeah, I'm just planning on putting the girls to bed. I'm going to go down to the Christmas fair now for an hour, and then come home, have tea. I think my husband's cooking tonight, and then put the girls to bed, and then hopefully I can finish the garden kit and start on the 4 seasons, even if I only get a couple of stitches, count the spacing for the winter girl, and then put a couple of stitches in so I can just crack on with it tomorrow. That's the plan. So yeah. Thank you for your comments so far on my Flosstube. I know I haven't responded to them yet, but I definitely will. I appreciate your comments. And yeah, I hope you'll come back and join me tomorrow. Take care. Bye.